What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first video of this series where I'm going to do a speed build of the Griffin house from Family Guy in Sketchup. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just getting the basic layout put together. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the series, so I kind of had to base this on what I saw the most. I had to guess on the dimensions, but I think that I got them fairly close to what they would be in real life. So this video I'm just going to be focusing on the kitchen. A lot of the products, or a lot of the items in the house, I tried to do as many original as I could, so I tried not to take anything from the Sketchup warehouse, but you'll see a few where I did have to do that. So right now I'm just getting the cabinets made, measured out. Color matching is kind of one of the hardest things to do, especially in SketchUp. Since it is 3D, the color shading changes when the camera moves. So a lot of the colors I really have to play around with until I can find what suits it the best, what will match from the show the best. Okay, now I'm going to work on the fridge. A lot of this too, I'm having to use techniques that I've never used in SketchUp before to kind of match the style of the show. So a lot of this that you see is really trial and error until I find what works the best. I want it to be as detailed as possible, and I also couldn't really decide at first if I wanted to go for a completely realistic, life-like interpretation of the house, or if I wanted to keep that still kind of cartoony style to it, but just do it in 3D. So what I settled on was to keep the cartoon style, no real-life textures or anything, just simple colors and patterns. I think so far it worked out well. In the kitchen, I tried to keep things similar proportions to what they would be in real life. So the dishwasher made 2 feet wide, but it didn't quite fit into the cabinet space, so I did make it a little bit smaller. I tried to find a happy medium between what the objects would be in a real life situation and what looks best, with everything in proportion to itself in relation to the show. The stove is one of the items in the show that kind of changes throughout the series over time. The clock is stylized slightly different in some episodes, so I just kind of pick one thing, or try and kind of pick a mix of different styles throughout the years and mix them together into one final piece that I use. This towel is the first thing that I had to grab from the Sketchup warehouse because I just wasn't sure how to get a towel to look like that, really. This clock was not fun, trying to get all the numbers into kind of an oval shape. I mentioned incorporating new techniques, and these rounded cylinder shapes are something that I've never made before, so that was a new technique that I had to figure out in order to make those spices. Some of these colors for the appliances were actually really hard to figure out because in SketchUp, well, first of all, none of the appliances in Family Guy are white. They're always kind of a blue, sort of really light blue, off blue, light gray color. So whenever you use those kinds of colors in SketchUp, when the camera is looking at those surfaces head on, it makes it look pure white. And then, you know, you can angle the camera just a little bit, and you can instantly see the blue in that color. So it's kind of difficult to find good colors that would work for the appliances that would kind of match how they were in Family Guy, but also look good in the model. Now the sink I did also get from the warehouse because it was just a lot of curves. This was a fun thing that I made, probably more complicated than it needed to be. This is the calendar. It's between the doorway into the kitchen and the fridge. I actually made it January of 1999. This was a lot of time to put numbers in, turn the numbers around, get them all lined up in the right spaces, but it's really fun to watch sped up. So I did January of 1999 because Family Guy premiered January 31st, 1999, Death as a Shadow. I was the pilot. I went ahead and just kind of recreated kind of a cityscape similar to what they have in the show. And these are just images from the internet, similar to the ones that are in the picture frame in the kitchen. I couldn't actually find the exact ones that they have on the kitchen in the kitchen. And I went ahead and tried to do my best recreation of the flower paintings, pictures that they've got, also in the kitchen. This door is one of those things that changes a lot throughout the series. The pictures that I used for reference were from newer episodes, so this is really one of the newer interpretations of that door. This wall phone gave me a lot of trouble. I was going to get one just from the warehouse, but I couldn't really find one that I liked very much. Tried a couple different ways to make the actual phone itself, and I just settled on this. It seemed the best way. I didn't really get the curves on the edges that I wanted, but it still works. The dining table was pretty easy to figure out, not too difficult, but the tablecloth gave me a little bit more trouble. At first I was just going to go with this really simple, kind of squared off, boring looking tablecloth, but it wasn't acceptable. And I tried to find one from the warehouse, couldn't really find one that I liked. So I tried this new technique that I thought of that I've never used before. I had to play around with it a lot to get it to really work, and I finally figured out the right way to get it looking right, and then I use this technique actually a lot throughout the model. Probably the only thing that I left out of the kitchen would be Stewie's high chair. Made the regular chairs, didn't make his high chair though. Really no reason other than it changes a lot throughout the series, the design of it, and I didn't really feel like trying to figure out a way to make it, so I just kind of left it out. So the curtains, another thing that I got from the warehouse, to modify their size and shape a little bit. And then I go and use that same technique that I used for the tablecloth to make the upper part of the curtains. So I just use some curves, pull those up, scale the tops inward a little bit, duplicate, invert, put it on the top, make that one a little smaller, change all my colors, and mix the perfect upper part of the curtain. And there it is. Alright, in the next video I will be working on the living room. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, again, like and subscribe, and I'll keep putting these videos out until I'm done, and after that, we'll see where it goes.